Hello there.
Hey guys, Josh Lloyd here, your what to watch for Friday in the NBA. We've got 9 games on. Let's talk about them right now. The first one is the Bulls and the Magic, the Michael Carter-Williams Bowl. I don't even know if Carter Williams is even going to play again this year. This has been a guy that thought would have a 20-minute role or so off the bench and just doesn't play. Foot injury, real problem for him, so he's out. Aaron Gordon, we know, is out for the Magic. Al-Farouq Aminu, the Chief, looks like he might be back soon. I don't expect him to have any sort of fantasy value. But let's talk about what I want to watch for, and that is Thad Young on the Chicago Bulls. Young playing a lot of center. He's handling the ball a ton as well, which is not something that we've really ever seen from Thad Young in the past, but it's working pretty well at the moment. So he's a must-roster player at this point. And let's see if he can keep that level up. Well, Dan Gafford, the minutes are pushing up for Gafford. He doesn't look particularly good out there. But there's a big difference between 10 minutes, 11 minutes, and 19, 20 minutes. He hasn't brought the big block games yet, which is what's going to really define his fantasy value in this time without Wendell Carter. And for now, he's just a guy that we keep an eye on and we stream in on low volume days if necessary for some big man stats and in deeper leagues. For the Magic, Cole Anthony continues to look more settled every game. Efficiency's going up. We're still not getting big assist numbers, and maybe that's just not his game. But he is running things a little bit better. Usage is solid, and his percentages are increasing. And then they recently signed Frank Mason, and they're talking up some big minutes for Frank Mason. Now, that doesn't impact Cole Anthony, I don't believe. But he's probably going to come in there and take some minutes away from Jordan Bone. And this goes out to those of you in 20-team leagues or 30-team leagues. Frank Mason is probably the guy that you want to have a look at. Just because if he comes in and plays 17 minutes, he was awesome in the G League last year. He can get some assists and he can score a little bit. So I just want to see how he looks, as I assume he'll be coming in and replacing Jordan Bone there. Next game, the Pelicans and the Pacers, the Lance Stevenson Bowl. Lonzo Ball has been amazing over the last week or so. Can he keep that level of play up? His assists still aren't really sky high, but his shooting, I think he's at 82% from the line over the last week or so. And his field goal percentage is up as well. He's shooting at a much higher level, Lonzo. And if he keeps that up, then there's a lot of value in him. And I want to watch Zion's peripherals. Can he put it together where he gets assists, which are up as well? I think almost 5 per 100 possessions in the last week. Steals and blocks have been improving as well. Can he put that all together? For the Pacers, Jeremy Lamb has been all over the shop. Good games and then terrible games. At some point, he's going to settle somewhere in the middle. So let's see what he looks like. But you've seen Nate Bjorken has absolutely no problem that when Lamb's having a stinker, he'll sit him down and he'll play him 19 minutes. So there is some variability in his production. And then on the other side of that, this guy has no variability. Timothy John McConnell just gets 7 assists a game, 1.5 steals a game, and that's it. And that's absolutely fine. He is amazingly a top 120 player this season, helping you in 2 really valuable categories, especially those assists. Probably shouldn't be on a 12-team waiver wire at this point. Next up, the Bucks and the Cavs. Got to shout out Matthew Dellavedova. It's the Matthew Dellavedova Bowl. It looks like Della's career might be coming to an end, unfortunately, with a concussion. Concussion's a shithouse. And he is dealing with this concussion he's had for almost 2 months now. And I'm not sure he's going to be able to come back, so we hope he's okay. Bobby Portis, Punch Bob, the flat track bully. Real blowout potential here. So real potential for a Bob Portis game. I would make sure he's not on the wire for this game. I think he's going to have an opportunity for a big performance. His efficiency is way up. His defensive stats are way up. His rebound numbers are up. He's playing at a career best level. Also want to pay some attention to DJ Augustin. He's shooting like a horrendous number, like 20% from 2 or something like that. Something absolutely crazy. But his ability to get assists, much like we talked about with McConnell earlier, if he can get you 4 or 5 assists, there is some value in him. So just paying attention, especially on these games where they should get a blowout win. For the Cavs, Andre Drummond, we know how bad he was last game. How's he going to fare against Brook Lopez? Really, the main thing I want to watch here is what they do with his minutes. And can he keep himself under control to not have a 38% usage? I know there are the Drummond fans out there, man, look at these big games he had. That doesn't equate good players. And I want to see what Bickerstaff does to rein him in, what Drummond does to have any level of self-awareness, or if they just say, screw this shit and we're starting Allen. There's probably a 1% chance of that happening, but is it a 24-24 scenario? Or is Drummond going to play 32 and Allen languishes on the bench? I also want to watch Darius Garland, who's playing at a very high level at the moment. Shooting well, passing well, easily this team's best passer. So let's see what he's able to do. Next game is the Raptors and the Nets, the Damari Carroll Bowl. Pretty interesting to watch the wiki Chris Boucher, because he'll be going up against probably Jeff Green at centre, and we know he's had issues going up against bigger centres. DeAndre Jordan's the only other centre there, and he's playing like 20 minutes. Maybe they move Jordan back into the starting lineup. In fact, that probably suits Boucher more, so he can come off the bench and match up against Green. They've sent Reggie Perry to the G League, so he's not even going to be in the mix here. If Boucher can't get to 28 minutes in this matchup, then I really worry for his future this year. And then Storm and Norman Powell, who's playing at a high level. Can he continue to do that as a starter with OG Anunoby out? For the Nets, to me, it's all about watching the Jordan and Green mix. Is Jordan going to play 20 minutes? Because you can have some faith in him as a 12-team league guy in 20 minutes. I don't, but you can. If it's 16 minutes and he's coming off the bench, then it's really tough. Jeff Green's putting up 12-team league value at the moment, so I think that's worth paying some attention to as well. And he probably is a 12-team league ad. Next game is the Wolves and the Thunder, the Luke Ridnour Bowl. Anthony Edwards, will he continue to start? You would imagine so. Juancho Hernangomez is questionable for this game. Towns is out still, as is Jarrett Culver. But Juancho, will they put Juancho back in starting? I would find it pretty tough to believe that they'll move Edwards to the bench, to be honest. So let's watch what he can do. He's taking shots. He's not really doing anything else, and those shots aren't really going in. But the upside is obviously there. Well, Naz Reid, another opportunity for him. Probably, maybe it's the last one. I don't know. That the Wolves are claiming that they want Towns to practice before he plays, but I'm not sure when they're going to have an opportunity to practice. Their schedule doesn't look really very practice-friendly at all at the moment. So Reid's going to have some value. For the Thunder, no Gilgeous-Alexander, no George Hill, so Teo Maledon is going to have another starting opportunity. He got 6 steals last game, didn't shoot well, but watching him, he's a 12-team league player. Also going to watch MC Hamadou Diallo, but I'm also want to watch Kenrich Williams, who was playing some backup point guard last game, and with Pokusevski out, with Maledon out, with Hill out, Williams is going to have a fairly sizable role. Now, he's not going to shoot the 88% that he shot in the last game, but he can get steals and blocks and assists and hit some threes sometimes as well. Next up, it is the Wizards and the Heat, the Rashard Lewis Bowl. Mo Wagner, he was a DNP CD last game. So will they play him at all with Robin Lopez and Alex Len there? That's the question. Russell Westbrook returns, but Hal Neto is out again. Troy Brown, I thought, played well in his minutes. Now, will Scott Brooks decide to keep him in the rotation, or will he continue to develop Ish Smith? Brown, we're not looking at him at any sort of fantasy level, but I'd like to see him push into a larger role. You could make the argument to me that he's better than Denny Avdia and Rui Hachimura, even though Avdia's been impressive, and I believe that argument. But Brown, not in the rotation mix. For the Heat, Kelly Olynyk's minutes went up last game. Do they stick at 28? If they do, then he's a 12-team ad to see where it goes. When he plays 24, he's not. And then Tyler Hero, who scored well last game. Assist opportunities dropping down with Jimmy Butler back in the lineup. So how's he going to look? Is he going to be the top 70 type player that he has been at times when players have been injured? Or does he fall back to be the top 120 sort of guy? Next up is the Jazz and the Hornets. Gordon Hayward Bowl. Jordy Clarkson. Big game for Clarko on Thursday against the Hawks. But still just the 25 minutes. Will he continue to play those 25 minutes, or will that push up at all? He had been falling away somewhat before that last game, before Thursday's game, but really good in that one. And we want to watch Bogdanovic, who we know has had shooting struggles, but he had another hot game on Thursday. Yeah, with that level of shooting back, yeah, then there is value in him, obviously, but he's been very inconsistent this season. For the Hornets, looks like Paul Washington will be out. Well, not looks like, he is out. So Bridges will get another start. Miles Bridges, he's worth a 12-team ad. But I really want to see what they do with LaMelo Ball. Terry Rozier is likely to return. So do they just bring LaMelo back off the bench? I fear that Borrego will do that. I don't think they're going to put Rozier on the bench. Would they put Devontae Graham on the bench? Some big questions how they run that guard rotation with Rozier returning. The Pistons and the Suns. It's the Josh Jackson revenge game. I actually want to watch Josh Jackson in this one, as I'm slowly dying. Jackson's playing at a higher level at the moment. scoring pretty well in bunches, and taking minutes away from Ellington, who's actually questionable in this one. So Jackson does have points league value for sure, and I'd consider him a 12-team league guy. I'd consider him an ad, maybe. Derrick Rose has been pretty poor, so let's see what he can do. Is he going to be 20-minute a night Derrick Rose? He's off the injury report, so he should be ready to play. Is he going to be 20-minute a night Derrick Rose? Or will it be 26-minute a night Derrick Rose, taking minutes away from Delon Wright? For the Suns, the two young stars, DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker, nowhere near their best this year. Ayton's just not aggressive. The usage is way down. No free throw attempts. Rebounding well, defending well. But offensively, the game's not there. And then for Booker, he just doesn't get assists anymore. And I guess that's a factor of playing with Chris Paul. But it's really impacting his fantasy value. So let's just watch how much he has the ball in his hands. Pay attention to potential assists that he misses out on. Or whether this is just who Booker is going to be now. The last game of the day is the Celtics and the Clippers, the Big Baby Davis Bowl. Rob Williams played well last game. Kemba's going to be back for this one. So do they persist with the starting combination of Tyson Thompson? I believe they will. But that does enable Williams to get more minutes. And if he can be an interesting field goal percentage stream and a block stream. Jeff Teague looks terrible. Now, interestingly, Jaylen Brown is questionable in the injury report for this game, and Peyton Pritchard has been upgraded to questionable. So if, say, Brown plays and Pritchard plays, is Teague even in the rotation? He's been really bad this year. For the Clippers, Luke Kennard playing a little bit of a higher level at the moment. I'd like to see them give him more minutes rather than Reggie Jackson, who's fallen off in the last couple. I'm not saying Kennard's an ad. In only a deeper league scenarios I'd be considering him, but he's playing better. And Jackson's starting to drop off. I would hold Reggie in 12-teamers, but he's sort of regressing back to the player he is. Let's look at some stream options now. Kelly Olynyk, Ivica Zubac to the Clippers, good stream option for big man stats. With Otto Porter out for the Bulls, Patrick Williams got 30-plus minutes last game, another opportunity to stream him. Rob Williams for big man stats from the Celtics, and then another big man flyer type Dan Gafford of the Chicago Bulls. That'll do it for me today. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell down below, give it a thumbs up. Also, go and leave a comment. Guys, I'll be back later on with a recap show. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See ya.